As climate change places a growing pressure on water resources around the world, the conversation is shifting from simply finding new sources of water to making a better use of every drop already available. From digital monitoring and smart metering to advanced storage systems, a new generation of technologies is helping utilities manage water more efficiently. If successfully adopted, experts say the ordinary consumers will benefit from more reliable water services. Here is that report. For decades, the solution to water shortages seemed obvious. Build another dam, drill another borehole, or lay another pipeline. But as climate change shrinks traditional water sources and demand continues to grow, experts say the question is no longer simply where Kenya will find more water. It is how the country can make better use of the water it already has. That question is driving a quiet transformation across the sector, where technology is beginning to change not just how water is delivered, but how every stage of the system is managed. For decades, water utilities relied largely on manual inspection, routine meter readings, and reacting to problems after they had already happened. Today, technology is changing that. Utilities can now see how water is being consumed. They can see pressure changes across the networks. They can see how storage systems are performing. And increasingly, they can spot problems before customers even notice them.
We have smart meters, which are integrated. We also have other integrated systems, like what Acumen Group are doing, using satellite graphical systems to be able to tell us what is under the ground surface infrastructure, up to 10 meters below the ground, and be able to detect losses, be able to detect what has water, what does not have water. We also have others that are bringing in a system of identifying at what point the leakage is happening.
One of those changes is happening at the water meter. For many consumers, a water meter is a little more than a device that determines the monthly bill. But a new generation of smart meters is turning it into a source of real-time information.
So they're able to tell when a meter is being tampered with, when it's magnetic tampering. They're able to look at the volume consumption. They're able to look at night flow, the reduction, if someone is stealing. We're currently actually doing a project with Eldoret Water. We've installed 13,000 ultrasonic meters. That was in November last year. So from November to now, they have seen at least a minimum of 15% increase in revenue.
But knowing how much water is being used is only part of the picture. Utilities also need to understand what is happening across an entire network, often long before any visible signs appear. New digital monitoring systems are giving engineers a live view of pressure across pipelines, helping them identify potential problems earlier and respond with greater precision.
You're able to monitor the leaks that are happening within the pipeline system. You're able to identify where the pressure drop is happening and where the leak and bursts are happening. For instance, this is a remote sensor that is able to send out information more than 100 kilometers. For instance, we have one in our River facility that you can monitor on the dashboard in my laptop here in Naivasha. That is more than 180 kilometers. That's enabling WSPs monitor their pressures despite the radios available. For the end user, it means value for your money. It means accurate billing of your monthly water bills. It means less water and reliable flows within your piping system.
Some of the biggest breakthroughs are happening in places where most consumers will never see.
Non-revenue water studies have been more into meters and piping, but they have not concentrated on tanks. Companies complain that they fill up their tanks. By the following morning, it's about 3/4 way. So they have to refill again. The liner comes when it's complete, checked against any microscopic holes, so it will not have issues of leakage. So that's why non-revenue water now comes in, because you store in your water 1,000 cubic, that's our 1 million liters or 2 million liters, up to 5 million liters. You will have it intact for as long as you want.
Thousands of kilometers away, one country has already shown what is possible. Israel, one of the world's most water-scarce countries, has become a global leader in water efficiency by embracing technology across every stage of the water cycle. Its ambassador to Kenya says the impact of that innovation is something he can see every day, even from thousands of kilometers away.
I can see from here, my water consumption at home in Israel, daily, weekly, monthly. I can compare it to last year, to last month, and make the necessary improvements to reduce my water consumption. Because the meter in every apartment in Israel is a digital one. So they know exactly my water consumption. They know, for instance, that if at 2 or 3 o'clock at the night there is water consumption, something must be wrong with my apartment. They know exactly how much water I use, when I use, etc. And this is very helpful.
For Kenya, that future is no longer a distant possibility. The challenge now is how quickly these technologies can be adopted to build a water sector that is smarter, more resilient, and better prepared for a changing climate. In an era of climate change, and as a country moves towards universal access to safe water by 2030, the country's progress may not be measured by how much new water it can produce, but by how wisely it manages the water it already has. Millions of Kenyans, however, the measure of progress will not be in the sophistication of the technology behind the systems. It will be in something much simpler. Whether they turn on a tap and find water. Michelle Ngele, Oriambo, NTV.